Okay, so we're going to be looking at the exhaust cam sensor on the Chevy Malibu. We've got our signal hooked up here as well as our 5 volt, and we've got our ground up here, and we're going to be seeing what kind of readings we get. Okay, so our sensor is 3-wire, which means it's either a Hall effect or a magneto type sensor. We've got the car running now. We've got one lead on our signal wire and one lead on ground. We've got a reading hertz here on our DVOM, and we should see an increase when we rev up the car. Okay, so as you saw there, our hertz signal increased. Okay, here's a better view of the camshaft sensor, the exhaust cam sensor, as it is highlighted on this diagram by a red circle. And it's a 3-wire sensor. The black wire is ground or signal return. The gray-yellow wire is 5-volt reference, and the violet-black wire is sensor signal.
So we have our exhaust cam sensor back probe right now at our 5-volt reference, and as you can see, hooked up to the pico scope, it is a Hall effect sensor.
Okay, so here we have our reading of our cam sensor up on the pico scope paused, and we have a difference of 4.2 volts. Here's where our reluctor would be, and here is where there would be metal.
So right here we have our crankshaft position wire in the PCM back probe because we couldn't get to the crankshaft position sensor. And as you can see here on the pico scope, there's a missing tooth right here, and as the crankshaft position sensor is sensing really, and then it forms almost like a square pattern here, and it goes from about 5 volts to about down to 1.3 volts.
Okay, here's a closer view of the connector that Dylan was talking about in the previous clip. This is connector number 3 that runs to the PCM. And as you can see in that little red circle there is pin number 26. It is the bottommost left of those little black dots there within the circle. And that is the signal coming from the crankshaft sensor to the PCM. And that is what we had the back probe in order to get a reading up on the pico scope.